Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're well. Today we have a lovely little video. I decided that it got to a point where I was like, I haven't had a dialogue with you guys. I haven't been able to kind of feedback all of the helpful tips and advice that I want to give you that you all personally DM me. So I thought, well, let's put it on the stories. Let's see what tips and advice and pearls of wisdom I can give you guys that might help you out. There were a lot of answers, like luckily there were a lot that were like very similar, so I've picked those and I've picked ones that I think will be really beneficial and be really helpful for you guys. Any questions or anything, or you just want to let me know how your day was, pop it in the comments down below. And yeah, right, let's get going. So first question is from Auntie Nat. It says, what do you do when you're not feeling an exercise in the target muscle? So this is like a lot about mind muscle connection, and particularly for beginners there's this massive thing of like not actually understanding, first of all, your muscles, what muscles you have and what parts you're even working for exercises. I remember that so vividly. But then there's also the part of like you haven't built up that mind muscle connection. One thing that I really like to do is to touch the muscle that you're supposed to be working. When you do that, it gives your brain like a point to kind of focus on. You can also, like if you're training with a partner, you can get them to touch it. I posted recently that my friend Izzy and we did it for the glutes, and it really helps. It really helps. I couldn't feel the top part of my glutes when I was doing the exercise, and it just helps you. I also think like slowing down the movement so that you're really feeling like that contraction with whatever you're doing will really help. If you're a newbie, really worth getting to know the anatomy of the body, just understanding, okay, this is the front delt, this is the rear delt, this is the bicep, this is the tricep. It will really help you understand when you see workouts and when you hear people talking about things, but also it will just help you understand what you're actually trying to work out, what parts of your body you've done for back day, you know, for like leg day, the quads, the hamstrings, the calves, the glutes. It will just, I think, be really beneficial, so I really recommend that as well. Next question from user Any advice for when you have a hard time with your body image during bulk? So I'm kind of currently there, so I totally relate. I've wanted to do a bulk, and I think I am doing a bulk. I'm eating a lot more than I was, and it's a real mental game. I really feel that, so I totally relate to you. I guess it's understanding first off what's going to happen. You're going to obviously gain a lot in muscle, we hope, but you are going to get a little bit fluffy, I think they call it, in certain places. Places might not become so defined. I guess the beauty is that we're going into winter, majority of the places in the world, so you're not really gonna have many people looking. Yeah, okay, it's annoying in looking in the mirror and seeing it, however you just got to think to yourself, trust the goddamn process, because the results will come, and they will come so good. I would just say as well to make sure if you are doing a bulk that you are training, because the whole point of doing the bulk is that you're upping your calorie intake, so you're in calorie surplus, and because you're training, you're going to build muscle quicker. With that, of course, comes, you know, you will get some fat as well. So if you're not training, you're not going to be building that muscle, and you're only going to be gaining fat. So yeah, that's just one thing to consider, but trust the goddamn process is what I say. This is from Demi Kenter. How do you plan what splits to do? I have no idea what to do in the gym. Okay, so I guess this kind of depends on how many days you're going to be training. So say for example you've just started out, you're like, I'm going to try and get into the gym twice. Well, then there's no point doing like glutes and then on the first day and then doing like a back day, because what about the rest of the body? I think like something I feel so frustrated with when I hear people say, because I was totally there myself, is people being like, you know, I don't train upper body. It's like, I promise you, not even for aesthetics, but just general health, you need your body to be balanced. Your muscles all interplay with everything. Just because you're doing a bicep curl doesn't mean it's only biceps working, you know, there's other muscles that are interacting, and just in everyday life, like from a functionality point of view, you're going to want to make sure you're training everything. So for that reason, if you're training 2 days a week, what I would do 2 full body days, so I do a bit of everything on each of the days, or you could do like 1 upper day, 1 lower body day. Say you're doing like 3 days, okay, well then maybe I'd go push, pull, legs. If I was doing 4 days, well, depending on what my goals are, if I'm really focused on legs, I might do 2 leg days and then I might do a push, pull. You kind of build it around like what your goals are. If you're really interested in fat loss, then you're probably going to want to like have maybe that 4th day be maybe a cardio day, or you know, so just think about it like that, like what are my goals, but ultimately just make sure you are training everything. This is from Emily Rose Buita. How do you improve your grip strength? Did you struggle with this at some point? Yes, absolutely. I think everything you guys are struggling with, I have already been there, and likewise so has every other like athlete or gym person that you look up to, or the person in the gym that just like looks like they're just absolutely bossing it. We've all been at that same stage, so absolutely yes. I guess the main thing is try to rely on your grip strength as much as possible. Only really using the straps when my grip strength had really failed at the end of the session, and maybe I was doing a lower body day, but I couldn't actually lift as much as my legs could take because my arms wouldn't be able to hold the weights. Another thing that really helped me was doing dead hangs, where you're just hanging, I'm sure most people know about this now, where you're just hanging on the bar and just trying to basically hold it for as long as possible, and you really will build up your grip strength. But don't be too hard on yourself. If you are working on, you know, holding the weights and you're finding that you just don't have the strength there, but say you are doing like dumbbell RDLs, then it's fine to use some straps. That's absolutely fine. This is from Esther M444. Any advice for managing DOMs the day after? Also, I love you so much, girl. You're such an inspiration. Kiss, kiss. Thank you. I appreciate that. So to begin with, you can't really avoid DOMs, especially as a beginner. It's like the worst pain, and you're just like walking around like, oh my gosh, but it doesn't honestly stay. The DOMs usually come when it's like a new exercise, so even if you changed your program and you started doing new exercises after doing the same exercises for a while, you would then start feeling the pain. For example, like just the other day I did glute kickbacks and I haven't done those in so long, and so I was really feeling it in my glutes. If I kept doing that every week, I wouldn't feel the DOMs, you know, every week afterwards. But yeah, I've literally forgot what the bloody question was, hang on. Oh, advice for managing it. So advice for managing it, I would just say make sure that you're stretching out after the session. You can also use a massage gun like the next day, that really helps. This one is from Harper Bay. I got so many questions about creatine, rightly so, because I think it's something that a lot of people are very interested in. You hear a lot about it, and yeah, so I thought I could answer that in this one summarized question. How do I get started with creatine? First off, let me say, like, creatine is not something to be afraid of. It's, as everybody likes to say, the #1 like most researched supplement. It's super safe to take. You could take it at any point in your fitness journey. I personally don't think it's actually necessary unless you're actually at a point where you've been doing it for quite a few months, you're really consistent with gym, like you train a lot. I personally think, what's the point in taking a supplement like that when you're not actually training that consistently, like if you keep falling off. This is like a super summarized version. If you want to find out more, obviously look online. But creatine is in your body, it's in the food that you consume, and it just means that when you're taking this creatine, it's more readily available and accessible for you. By being in your body, it helps with muscle growth, muscle strength. It also helps with like brain function, which I need. You take it every day. You need to make sure that you take it every day. There is a loading phase to begin with. I personally don't think it's actually essential to do the loading phase. You just need to take like the scoop amount, and then you just need to take it with water. You do need to make sure you are keeping yourself hydrated. No, this doesn't mean, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I'm having like 2+ liters a day. It doesn't mean that. It just means you need to make sure you are drinking water. I don't want to put you off at all. I'm just letting you know that, like, I've had days where, and these are days where I've literally had no water, like I've had nothing to drink. I probably had like coffee, and I did get stomach cramps, but they only last like a day, and that is literally just because I hadn't had my recommended daily amount. But really, apart from that, there's no other side effects. If you do want to get started with it, buy it and just make sure you start taking it every day. It's not like a need to take it at a certain point, just make sure that you take it every day. If you haven't checked out last week's video, it's my 1 year fitness journey kind of review. And when I was looking at it, I was thinking like, yeah, you can tell when I started taking creatine, it's so obvious, like the muscle mass, especially on my back, was very noticeable. Okay, next one is from Daniela C. R. Lozama. I'm sorry, I absolutely butchered that. How can I stop control binge eating? I struggle real bad and then feel the same because I see no results. I'm with you. I've had a really bad day, a few days actually. I think it's since the weather's changed. I used to struggle a lot with like binge eating, and then obviously with that comes all of the like really like negative feelings the day after, and you're just like, why did I do that? But in the moment you can't help it. And yeah, I guess with the seasons changing and it being winter, all you want to do to make yourself feel better is eat food. So I guess a few things that work for me is like understanding that, for me anyway, being totally restrictive doesn't work because it makes me want that thing even more. So I make sure to just allow myself one little treat a day. And then I've like had my like chocolate, like I am a chocolate queen. I've said this before, I'll say it again. So like I'll give myself a little chocolate treat of an evening and just limit it to that. I won't buy loads of stuff because if you're buying that stuff, it's there. And if I bought it, I will be eating that. And I'll probably be eating it in the same day. So yeah, just make sure you don't, you know, buy it. Don't have that temptation around you. But allow yourself to have a treat. Allow yourself, I like to have it like in the evening, like after my dinner, I'm like, do we have a little sweet treat? I guess something I'm still struggling with and trying to learn, but it's obviously an ongoing process, is kind of understanding that just because you had a bad day, just because you slipped up, you maybe ate badly or you didn't train, doesn't mean it needs to spiral, doesn't mean you need to be like, oh, it's a bad week, oh, it's a bad month, oh, I've fallen off. No, that's fine, it was a blip and you just move on. I think that mentality really helps for me because I am quite all or nothing, and so if I fall off, I'll fall off hard. So just trying to kind of understand like, no, it's fine. This isn't the end of the whole like fitness journey. it's fine. This one is from Trinity134. Do you rotate the same workouts with the same exercises so that you see more progress? Yes, I do. Now, this is a thing that I don't think most beginners know. The way progressive overload works, which is the way that you're going to essentially build muscle, give your muscles time to get used to an exercise and build, is by doing the same exercise consistently and then kind of progressively upping the weight of that. If you kept changing exercises, your muscles wouldn't have time to like adapt and to grow. This would look like having an arm workout, doing it 1 week, and then doing the exact same exercises the next week, but either playing around with the amount of reps you're doing, so trying to do just 1 more rep each week, or you know, however more you feel like you can do, or by upping the weight. That would be another thing to do. You actually do want to stick with them, and then, you know, after people do different lengths, maybe after 10 weeks you then switch to like completely different arm workout, because at a certain point you might plateau and then you do the whole same thing again. So yeah. Sarah Gubir, what do you do when you feel less motivated, like those days you just think no? Okay, so I've been saving this one for you guys. What I like to do is I think to myself, I had it recently because, you know, it's winter, it's getting dark, it was a Monday night, it was pitch black, I was like, screw this, I do not want to go gym right now. But the way I think about it to myself is, if I have got to a point where the idea of gym and me contemplating going to the gym is in my mind, then I'm gonna go to the gym. That's a non-negotiable, in the sense that if the thought of going gym is even crossing my mind and I'm kind of having that internal battle, that internal struggle of like, should I go or should I stay in my like pajamas in my bed, then it's like, yeah, okay, now I'm going. And so I look for that as like a marker. Next one is from Oh my god, I'm so dyslexic. Libbat. How do I get better at squats? One word: mobility. So if you just work on your mobility, literally do it as a kind of warm-up before your leg days, then you will see such good improvements. I will leave a link down below. I've made videos before of what ones I did, and it took my squat depth and my form to like new heights. This is from Rachel Canuth. Having trouble with the one side of my body being stronger. How should I fix that? So this is like very common. This is something that you will deal with throughout your journey, and there's little tweaks that you can make in your program. It might be that you're training, so for like say all of your exercises, you're using both arms, either on machines or with bars. You want to just make sure that for each body part you are making sure to do some single arm, single leg exercises. If you're just focusing on the like one movement, you can work on that side and you can just make sure you even it out, and it might take a little while to even out, but it'll be fine. There's always going to be one side of your body a lot stronger. For example, when I'm doing like pull-ups, when I'm getting to that point where I'm really struggling, there'll be a part where like my form kind of twist and you can really see that one side of my body is stronger. But yeah, I would just make sure that you're including one-sided exercises into your workouts. Next one is from I am Katie Fritz. Should I look into non-stimulant pre-workout? I've been told that caffeinated pre-workout is bad. So I guess this is like completely up to you. Pre-workout, I know, scares like a lot of people. No, it's not essential. It just might be that like as you're getting into like your workouts more, you want to like push yourself a bit further, you want like that extra something, then yeah, like a pre-workout would be a nice idea for you, which you would just take before a session. There's pre-workouts that are like non-stim. They don't have as much like caffeine in them and they don't make you as like stimulated. There is also, I know a lot of people, myself included, got really into like I really don't like the itching and like the tingling. I just find it distracting and it feels weird, and that's the beta alanine, and there are ones that come without it. I actually really like, I'll go get it, 1 second. The pre-workout that I use hands down every time is the Pride pre-workout by EHP. This one has none of the beta alanine. There's many options on the market. This is one that I recommend, and this is like this one doesn't get you like super wired. It just allows you to like focus a bit more and you get like a pump from it and feel like you can go further for longer. So yeah, this is from Sarah JF17. When did you start using a belt? How do you decide when to start using a belt is kind of up to you to decide. I guess it gets to a point when you're doing heavy squats and deadlifts and you can feel, I can't even remember when I decided, but it was like I could just feel I needed a little something to just give me a bit more support when you're starting to push like much heavier weights. That's kind of for you to decide. I do remember feeling really insecure of like, oh, when I wear a belt, like people are going to be like, who does she think she is, like using that belt when she's literally only lifting that much amount, you know? But I very quickly realised that it's like a safety piece of equipment that you're going to use for protection, and there's no right or wrong. If you feel like you need it, if you feel like you need a little something, then use it. But you need to make sure you're using it right. So making sure that you before you get the belt, you want to make sure that you've understood like how to brace your core and how to like keep that really tight, because it won't really work unless you are making sure you do that anyway. Next one is from Lunchbox 007. In one video you showed that at a point you did excessive cardio. Your POV of cardio currently. Okay, so right now I don't really do much cardio. There was a time where I wanted to shrink myself down to be like as small and as like petite as possible, and so I was just doing like excessive amounts of cardio, which is not actually something that like I take pleasure in. I know people do enjoy doing cardio. I don't enjoy it at all, and for me, my number one like priority and my number one goal is to just make sure I'm enjoying myself and having fun, and cardio is just not a part of it. And so if I do cardio, then I would be doing, you know, stuff that would be like optimal for fat burning. So I do, you know, like when all the bodybuilders will just do like walking, I'll just do walking. I don't really do much high intensity stuff just because I don't really enjoy it. I guess my position that I'm at with it now is just to do what you enjoy, and yeah, if you are looking to build on like your fitness, then like obviously cardio is fantastic. This is from Amaya Siata. how do I stay consistent even when I'm super busy? Making it a non-negotiable part of your day is how I would say. Making it as sort of concrete and set in your day in terms of your mind and how you view exercise as brushing your teeth or filling up your petrol. Like, it has to be done, and you've told yourself you're getting it done. Maybe at the start of the week, set yourself up by saying, like, I'm going Tuesday, I'm going Thursday, and I'm going Saturday. What really helped me is like seeing it as this non-negotiable part of the day, not something that's like, oh, if I get something come up, like, oh, you know, that's fine, I'll skip it. It's like, no, I've told myself I'm going to go and I'm going to stick to it. I think habit building is so important. So if that means that, you know, at the start of your journey you're literally just going like for 20 minutes just to show up and to form that habit of like getting dressed, going to the gym, getting in the gym, being in an environment that you're unfamiliar with, maybe even a bit comfortable with, then like, so be it, that's good enough. This one's from Karina Haria. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these names. If someone wanted to start a fitness account, should they? I'm scared of the judgment. Absolutely, yes. I started my account, totally did not see it going in the way that it's gone, but I started my account as a tool for accountability and a way to try to immerse myself better in the fitness world. I also just wanted it as a place where I'd track my fitness journey. I think that was one of my first like bios, was just like wanting to track my fitness journey. So yeah, I absolutely would say it. And like, also just try to stop thinking about what other people think, because if they're going to judge you for doing something to better yourself, then that is so a reflection of them. That is nothing on you at all. Lise Van Elst says, what shoes are best for the gym? Love you. I mean, there's not like a particular thing. The reason that I wear Converse is because they have a flat sole. So you're going to want to wear, for lifting, you're going to want to wear something that's got like a flat sole so you can get like better connection with the ground. These could be Converse. I see people with Blazers. Vans are great because Vans are a wider fit, so it allows your toes to spread more. What else is there? There's also lifting shoes and like squatting shoes that you can get on like upper body days when I'm not really needing that sort of flat surface. I'd use like running trainers or like any kind of trainers. Cardio, yeah, I'd use a trainer with like a better, more cushioned sole. I would never do like running or anything in Converse. This is from Dan November. How to get over feeling like you're taking up too much space in the gym. Woman speaking. This is a really hard thing to learn, but just realising and understanding that everybody has started off in the same place. Everyone has been where you are, no matter where you are in your journey. And then also realising that everybody pays the same membership to be here. We are all on the same level. I guess it's just something that you've got to learn within yourself and like in your confidence, and just realise that you are not holding up like any space or like taking up any space. That's absolutely not the case. And I guess kind of touching on like confidence and stuff like that, I genuinely have like built up my confidence by faking it till I make it. Like, when I didn't feel confident, I would just be like, be the other girl, be the other girl. And so yeah, I just think that will be something that you'll slowly learn, but just know that you are right where you're supposed to be. You are most welcome in any fitness space, regardless of where you are in your journey. I think I'll leave it on that lovely little final question, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully it was useful of some sorts. Somebody did actually make a suggestion that I should do a video reacting to your guys' workouts and forms, which I would love to do. So I'll probably put that up on my stories. Go check me out on Instagram at siggrows, and the same on TikTok, and I'll pop that up when it's time to do that video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!